Hey guys, you're watching One and Only. My name is AJ. Welcome to the first vlog of 2017. I know we had a video that went out on the 1st of January, but that was just a PC video. I don't really class that as a vlog. If you don't know, on the 1st of every month, I like to put out a sort of, if it be behind the scenes video, a little bit more of a personal video, something a little bit different, a little bit diverse to the normal gaming content that we get on the channel. Today, I want to ask you guys, how has your 2017 been so far? We're technically a 12th of the way through the year. January is done, we're now into February. It's my birthday month, that's a positive. But for me, 2017 hasn't done that great for me. Hasn't been a good year so far. Mostly stress-inducing, also expensive in a way as well. I don't like to, on this channel, talk about negative things or the downside of doing stuff, but if you guys have had a bad 2017 as well, maybe knowing that my 2017 isn't going to be any better, and if not maybe worse, then it might make you feel a little bit better. We get to bond over how terrible 2017 has been so far. So why has it been bad for me though? Well, you guys should know, or I think most of you guys would know, the car I drive is convertible. So over the winter time, I don't really drive it too much. It's a soft top. And my fiance's got a truck, a 4x4 truck. So when the weather gets bad, we just use that, and I don't take out the convertible then. So it just sat there over the winter, over the Christmas period. It just sat in the car park, not doing anything, just locked up. And I live out in the sticks. I don't live in a city or in a town or anything. I live in the middle of nowhere. And there are rats about, like, well, rats are everywhere. You can get rats in the middle of cities, but rats are also out in the countryside as well. And 99% of the time, they don't bother or affect anything to do. I never see them. I don't care, whatever. But obviously, this particular rat obviously didn't have a normal underground home like most rats do. He decided to go up inside of my engine bay of my car and sleep in there. He made a bed on top of the engine of like acorns and sticks and fur and stuff like that, and he lived there all winter. My car was never started over the winter because why would I start it? And then it came round to just after Christmas, and I thought, yep, we can go out for a drive. And I thought, I'll just check underneath the bonnet to make sure that there isn't any cats in there. Occasionally, we've had in the past, when a car has been sitting somewhere for a period of time, a pregnant cat has got in there, had kittens inside the engine bay of a car, and if you start it up, you obviously risk killing the kittens if they get hot or they can't get out or whatever, they get caught in something. So I had a look, I opened it up, and obviously the first thing that I saw wasn't the rat. The rat wasn't in there, not that I saw at least, but it was just like this giant nest sitting on top of the engine. I didn't think it was that much of a problem. I swept it all off, got it all out of the way, started the engine up, started fine, not a problem, went about my business. It wasn't until I came home and had another look that I realised that all the sound dampening, which is like a foam, like a polystyrene almost texture, and it sits on what's called your bulkhead into your it divides your engine up from where you sit, from the interior, and it just soundproofens, it sound dampenings everything, so you don't get the loud engine noise rattling through the car. Most cars have it, all cars have it, and the rat had eaten, or at least used, a lot of it and tore it off in order to make its bed. So that made the interior of the car a little bit louder, not too much louder, but not uncomfortably loud, but it didn't soundproof the engine quite as much. A couple more days passed, and I got a warning light come up on the dashboard, you know, one of those evil, scary red lights, and it was the airbag light that came up, and a little message on my little console thing said, service the airbag. Didn't really think too much about it. I booked it in to the local garage, you know, the garage where I got the car from. And I said, yeah, I got a light on. It says service the airbag. They went, yeah, not a problem. Send it in. It's probably an error on the computer because the car wasn't serviced that long ago. The car is under 3 years old, so it hasn't even gone through what's called an MOT yet, which is basically checks if the car's safe enough to drive. And if the car's new, then you don't have to have an MOT for the first 3 years. But after that, an MOT is a yearly thing. So it hasn't even had one of those. And the service was pretty recent. So they're like, it's just going to be an error. We'll be able to sort it out. So I took it in there. And a few hours later, I got a phone call from the garage. And they said, hey, they said, I got some bad news. I said, what's the bad news? They said, it looks like a rat has made a nest inside of your engine bay. And I sort of knew, I had already sort of figured that part out. But what I didn't realise is not only had the rat eaten all of the soundproofing installation stuff, it had also ate through a lot of wires inside of the car. And the reason why the airbag light came on was because the rat chewed through the crash sensors. So they're like the sensors that when the car has a front impact, it makes the airbags go off. It had chewed through them, that's why the airbag light come on. But it also gone through a load of other wires. Obviously, it hadn't gone through any wires that prevented the car from starting or moving, but they would have been wires that would have been important in some way if it had been maybe emissions, wiring gauges, things like that. You don't know, how many wires that are in cars. It could do anything, but even if one wire was chewed, it could wreck up a load of stuff. It could damage your engine maybe if it's something that, I don't know, counts how much air's going into fuel ratio. It could be anything, couldn't it? You just don't know. So I was like, all right, how much is this going to be then? And he says, it's not going to be cheap. It's the wiring loom. It can be anything. Like the work that they said first, the work that we've done today is going to cost you about 160 quid, which is 160 pounds, which is about, I don't know, $250, something like that. It's like, what? Just to look at it? Yeah, sorry. It's like, all right, fair enough. I said, all right, so how much is this wiring loom? And they said, well, that's going to be about 700 to 800 pounds. And they were like, yeah, and then we've got to fit it. So that's not even the complete job. That's just to buy the wires. They said to fit it, you're looking at like about 10 hours of labor, which is going to be another £300 or £400 on top of that. So it's about like £1,500 in total, which is about $2,500. I don't know exactly. You'll have to, you can translate it yourself. Around $2,500, I suppose, if you're in America. Which is sort of fair enough. I'm not saying that that's expensive for what they're doing. The wiring loom is an expensive piece, and the labour cost is pretty fair because they have to take a load of stuff off the car in order to get the main wiring loom in. The main wiring loom, if anything, is probably the hardest thing to rebuild in a car ever. It's like the worst thing that could go wrong. So I'm going to be down a bunch of money because of that. And on top of that, they said it's going to probably be around 4 weeks. So I haven't had the car now for around a week, and I haven't had a call to let me know like if they're any progressed any further or whatever. But yeah, about 4 weeks just to get the wires too, because apparently the supplier, like the car company, doesn't stock those kind of wires. They have to like make them to order, which is why it costs so much as well. So I don't have a car at the moment, so I've been using my fiance's car whenever I need to get about, which isn't a problem. I'm all insured on it. It's all legal and stuff like that. On top of that, my phone. Now, I don't care about phones. It's about the only thing that I don't care about in this world. I like to have nice computers. I like to play nice games. I like to have nice big TVs. I like to have the newest game consoles. I like nice things, but not phones. For some reason, I don't know why, I couldn't care less about what phone I have. I don't play games on my phone. I don't call people on my phone. I don't text people on my phone. If people call me, I will answer it. If people text me, I will reply. But I don't go out of my way to text other people. I have Skype. I have the internet. I have you guys to talk to. I don't need to talk to people on a phone. I could talk to people on the internet like I'm doing right now. So I've never had an iPhone. I don't like iPhones. I don't like Apple products. If you've been subscribed to me for any length of time, you'll know that I don't like Apple products. I don't like using them. I don't like how much they cost. I don't like a lot of things about them. So this phone is an old ZTE. I've had it for absolutely donkey's years. Like literally, I don't know how many years I've had it. A long, long time. I'm pretty sure I had this phone when I was at school, and I'm now I'm 23 at the moment. I'll be 24 next month. No, 24 this month. 26th of February is my birthday. Get ready to say happy birthday to me. 26th of February. So yeah, this phone has been run over. It's been dropped. It's been smashed, everything. And the phone has always worked. It's always repaired itself somehow if something's broken on it. But now, unfortunately, the phone has gone poof. And this is the state that it was in. You can see that little orange bit at the top. If I put it in front of my focus, that's better. That is actually the internals of the phone. That is like the chipboard and stuff like that. Like, you can actually see the internals of the phone. There's chunks of plastic missing out of the back. So I didn't have a phone. Not the most important thing to me personally, because like I said, I don't phone or text people. I just get a little bit concerned if people ring me, if they need my help in an emergency. I can't answer them because the top half of the screen still works, but the bottom half doesn't. And that means that I can't unlock my phone because the enter button for the passcode is on the bottom and I can't hit that button. And the answer call button is at the bottom of the phone and I can't answer it either because the bottom half of the screen don't work. So I needed a new phone. Oh yeah, and also the most important part, apart from the emergency calls, which doesn't bother me too much, is the alarm clock. I always used my phone to get up every morning. Without an alarm, I would not get up. I would just sleep all day. It's like a superpower of mine. It's a useless superpower, but it is a superpower of mine just to be able to sleep however I want, where I want, standing up, sitting down, laying down, for 12 hours, for 30 hours, I don't care. I could sleep for that amount of time. So without an alarm clock, I can't get up. And if my alarm went off on my phone, I couldn't turn it off because obviously the cancel alarm button is at the bottom of the screen. So I had a friend, my fiance's mum, or my mother-in-law, technically, had an old spare phone laying about, so I don't know what it is. It's a Samsung something. It's a very old phone. It's nothing special. It doesn't even have an app store on it. I don't care. It's, for some reason, I've just never cared about phones. I don't care how new it is, how old it is, what it can do, as long as it has an alarm on it and I can answer a call from someone. Doesn't bother me at all. Doesn't bother me at all. Fortunately, I got to keep the same number. But what else has been bad? So that's two bad things. I mean, one, the car is a really bad thing. The phone's more of an inconvenience, and fortunately I didn't have to spend any money getting a new phone because money is very tight this month. I shall hopefully somehow I'll show you a graph of my YouTube statistics. If you don't know how YouTube works, it's a very quick rundown. I don't want this video to go on forever. But a very quick rundown is that YouTubers can get paid for the videos that they make. How much money they make depends on how many views they get. And it's done on a thing called, or it's based on something called CPM, which is cost per mil. In English, that means how much money a YouTuber gets per 1,000 views. So for example, for every 1,000 views, a YouTuber might get $2. So every 1,000 he gets $2. And this CPM value, that number, can change through numerous things. Through how much of the video the audience watches. So if they watch a lot of the video, if they watch 50% or 70% of the video, the CPM will be higher than if they only watched 1% of the video with clickbait titles and stuff like that. But one of the biggest factors is the time of year. In November and December, the CPM will be much higher because the CPM is the advertisements that you see before YouTube videos. It's those advertisers that pay money to YouTube in order to show their ads, and that money then gets passed on to the YouTubers. And at Christmas time, companies like Toys R Us and all these toy companies and stuff, they're all advertising for Christmas, therefore they can spend more money on advertisement because they know that they're going to draw more attention. However, when January comes around, there's no point advertising. Nobody buys toys in January. They've all spent their money at Christmas time. So the advertisers don't really pay anything to YouTube for January, December, January, February and March sort of time. Which means that the CPM is really low. I'm going to show you a graph. I'm going to edit the value so you, because obviously I don't know. I don't think I'm allowed to show you like actual physical numbers, but I can show you the graph. I think it's against YouTube's terms of service. I don't exactly know. But as you can see, it's basically like a downward graph. And the high point on the left is December. So you can see, or November/December. I think it's about half of December. And you can see the CPM, the higher the point on the graph, the higher the CPM is. And then January comes around, and you can see, I bet you guys can guess exactly where January starts, because the CPM plummets to this very low level. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that in January, I get paid a lot less than what I get paid in December from YouTube. Now, it's not all that important to me. I mean, without the money that I get from YouTube, I wouldn't be able to do this. There's bills I have to pay. All of you guys know. If you don't know, if you're not an adult, then maybe you don't understand. But when you're an adult, there's so many things that you need to pay for, that you need money somehow from somewhere to do it. And being a YouTuber allows me to get that money in order to pay those bills. So when January comes around, and you can tell by the graph, I'm earning at least, well, about 25% of what I would be in in December. 25%, instead of, like, let's make numbers easy. If I made £100, I made more than that, but let's say I made £100 in December. In January, I'll make £25. That's how much. It's a 75% decrease for me in money earned. And this comes on a month that my car has gone wrong, and my phone has gone wrong, and everything else like that. Now, you can't really, as a YouTuber, you can't really get down about this. You'll see a lot of YouTubers complain about this every year, how bad January's CPM is. But it's a yearly thing. It's a constant thing. It's a thing to be expected. It's not something that just surprises us. It's something that happens every year to YouTubers. And basically, as the year then progresses, the graph will then go back up as the year progresses. At summertime, the advertisers pay more, and at the wintertime, they pay even more. So it's like a graph that pretty much constantly goes up. Not exactly, but a rough lowdown, like an approximation. It usually goes up throughout the year, and then drops back down again, and then goes back up again for the next year. And yeah, so I'm earning 25% of what I was last month on a month that my phone has gone wrong on. It's not the greatest timing, is it? How has your 2017 been? Has it been better than mine? Has it been worse than mine? Let me know in the comment section below. Maybe somehow it's been worse. Maybe somehow something has gone wrong, and let me know in the comment section. That's what we're all here for. We're all here to support each other through our bad times. And if you've had a good 2017, let us know, because it's going to brighten up the days of those people that have had bad days, or a bad month. It'll make everybody feel better, no matter what. If you guys enjoyed it, then hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. No, let's not end it here. Let's not end it there. How do we combat all of this sad things, all of the depressive car going wrong and low pay on YouTube? How do we combat that? Well, by doing more this year. We're going to be making more videos this year. There will, as far as I know, as far as I can believe, there will always be Minecraft on the channel. There will, no matter in what form, if it be in creative form, survival form, modded form, vanilla form, whatever. I can't see myself just stopping Minecraft anytime soon. However, I do want to bring more games to the table. We've already got the City Skylines series, not City Skylines, the Planet Coaster series started. By the way, great game. I'm having so much fun with that game, and if you haven't seen that series, I recommend going back and watching it from the beginning, because it's so awesome. It's a great game that I'm really getting into. About episode 5, which I think is the next episode that goes out, we're really starting to progress and grow really fast. Any game, any sandbox game like that always has a little bit of a slow start to it, but now we're really getting into it, and I know what I'm doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. I also want to maybe start a new City Skylines series. I know that game is pretty old now. It's pretty pretty far gone. There are still a couple of people on YouTube doing it though, and you guys, I always seem to get comments saying, why don't you start a new City Skylines series? So maybe you guys would want one. Let me know in the comment section below on that as well, if you would like another City Skylines series. I know I asked it not so long back, but now a month has passed. I just want an update. I want like a confirmation that you guys want it. So that might start this month or next month. We'll have a lot of fun with that. And if there are any other games that you guys think that would suit the channel well, then let me know. I don't really want to do Roblox. I don't know that much about Roblox. What I've seen about it hasn't really entertained me that much, and if I don't find a game entertaining, I'm not going to play it to make you guys find it entertaining, am I? So, yeah, I don't know. Roblox isn't one that I've really ever been interested in, but maybe there's a game that has been played by someone else that you really enjoyed and you think that you would like to watch me play it, or that you're interested in seeing me play through it. I don't care really what it is, but this year I really want to keep Minecraft but also bring other games to the channel as well. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode, and I hope the rest of the year goes better than the first part of the year. Bye!